another tree pruned, and in case you're lost, that's a swimming pool, and that's where we started, and that's where we started the tour to my right on my patio. Go down the steps here, of course more wildflowers everywhere. That's where we started going down towards the Frugals with all the flowers there. Ah, that's my wood. That's all the wood I've been chopping. Here. So the pool is behind me to my right. This is where we have views, and our hedge. All wildflowers, of course. More olive trees pruned. A fig tree. A pomegranate tree. Another olive tree pruned. Our bamboo. This was one of the two hardest trees to prune because I hadn't done this one barely at all. Oh, that's a nice shot with the palm tree behind. And this was the other one. This one's difficult because you can't really tell on video, but there is a slope at the base of it, and so if you have the ladder to my left by that little orange tree, you can't reach the top, but to the right of it you can. So, and it's not flat this side of it, so to put a ladder there's quite tricky. So I have to make it look like it's one level at the top. So if you measured it from base to top, it would be completely different lengths, but it looks right. This is my growing area. I've got a lot of random tomato plants come up, so these must have been from last year's seeds. This is my date palm. Chili's been growing amazingly well all winter. As I said, I've done nothing out here, these areas. Ginger's not shown yet. Oh, these are fig trees, just random ones I don't have space for. If anyone comes and wants them, they will get them. Nothing. And these are two more grapevines that we haven't planted out yet because Mike's not made the planters. They will be fine. This is my bath of asparagus and chilli and peppers. People often ask me, what do you do with your asparagus? You do nothing with it. It will sort itself out. I've never done a thing with it apart from pick the asparagus. I've sown carrots. So out here I've sown a whole bath full of carrots. The transplanting from indoors, there were peppers and broccoli that were really big, so I've just filled up. I have extra bottles that I've transplanted and other bottles growing, which you'll see on a different video, which I will link the series below. So another olive tree trimmed back. Might trim to the gap of the yucca tree. Lots of artichokes. They'll be showing their heads very soon. The tire area has been left to fend for itself. And this area is basically where we throw any seeds or cuttings from the kitchen, and things randomly pop up, so it's going to be a right mixed bed. I see a tomato there. You see that tomato? So things randomly pop up here. Some of my basil. This is all these seedy bits here. This is where the basil has been transplanted to. There's 3 bits, a little bit there, a big one there. This is the raised bed area. Again, not a tour per se of what's growing. This is the rocket that I've let go to seed. I wasn't keen on it. It tastes to me extremely salty, so I'll let that go to seed, but I won't sow anymore. Everything's just about finished here. I've been topping up the beds. The eggplants or aubergines. This one grows and grows and grows. I've had this for many years here. Peppers, I've harvested so many peppers and chilies. And there's more coming still on there, I see. I've split my onions. That might be why they look a little droopy to you. There were 2 onions there, now there's about 10. I've split those. Again, filled up the rest of the raised bed. Still needs a bit more filling. 2 orange trees, and I've trimmed the olive trees between. I haven't done much with the vertical bed other than thrown some seeds in of some herbs, which you would have seen, but I haven't cared for it. The basil seems to be coming up of its own accord. As I say, we've had rain, so I haven't watered these, but they get water in them. Parsley's growing really well everywhere. I've had parsley all year, even though I preserved a lot, I didn't need to use it. Malabar spinach dying back a bit for the winter. Again, here's basil. So I seem to be able to grow basil with no effort, which is good to know. I grew a bit last year, but I also bought some because I didn't know basil was a herb that grows well on its own, so I had plenty. Chives. Now, I used to have trouble starting chives off from my very first year. I grew chives. After that, I had trouble growing it, but now I'm back to being able to do chives. There's a bit of pine tree. Lettuce. Oh, lettuce is growing up everywhere. So I think that's Rosa lettuce, that one. Again, parsley. Parsley's gone crazy. More parsley. This is new. This is the seeded parsley that you last saw me sow. That's a lettuce from last year's seed. As I say, not done anything, so that's going back to seed. More parsley. I think this is peppermint. Peppermint or spearmint. I can't remember if it's peppermint or spearmint. I know if I taste it, I'll know. I can tell you that's mint. Mint. Mike's just strimmed this small section of our land, so this area's all strimmed. It's because this was a weedy area under our trees here. I need to cut back the bottom of this tree. I emptied out, as I said, I filled a lot of those raised beds, and this was from this compost area, because I need to get it ready for when Mike cuts back all the grass. He uses a strimmer, yes, a strimmer. And what I've been doing is sorting it, because I've recently thrown more on top. So I've moved this out, so I put the bigger stuff that hasn't started dying back yet there. Lovely compost right at the bottom. All this, I don't turn my compost, there's too much of it, so the bottom layers of this will be that beautiful black moist compost that I get year after year. I'm using all the stuff in my storage container for growing. This was my little garden for our chill out relax area. Mike made a fence and he's nearly finished grouting this area, but you can see that on his channel, so this is nearly ready to go. We have a new plan for here, this area, but again I'll leave that for Mike's channel. A really awesome idea he's got for here. Although we have lots of land, we use every inch of it for something. You'll see as we go around, more olive trees trimmed. This is as far as I got, so the rest were done last year, but you'll see as we walk round, the bottoms need doing and some need thinning out at the top, such as this one. I've done all the bottom, but it's too mass. In a bit needs to come out. This is as far as I've got, but now I'm just going to go round, take all the bottoms off first and foremost of any I haven't done. Chili harvest from this year, purely because these are my new long thick chilies. I've just harvested some, so these aren't the best ones left. These are really long chilies, they get longer than this. This has been, it's one plant, this one's a pepper one here, this red one's come over into this side, so this belongs over here. See, that's that plant. So it's one plant in this cat bag of those, and then normal peppers on this end plant. And these tomatoes have been going all year, so they've been doing well. Another parsley, you can see down there. And then we'll go down here. And this is my rockery area, if you like, with some of my irises and geraniums and variety. Don't see this very often, this is a very small time of the year, but these that my friend gave me are in their yellow bloom time. These are a type of succulent, I believe, and these will all be out soon. They're the first two. And I like to film those because, as I say, it's a very short season. And we've got different plants growing amongst them. So they are very beautiful. As I say, this will all be out very soon. I needed to capture that while I was there. And these from now, as I say, are the trees I haven't done. So that gives you an idea from last year. Some I had to do the bottoms I've done, but I haven't got much beyond this. Let's show you one with a bottom, how it goes within a year. So that's, some are worse than that, some are not as bad as that. So that's what I need to attack first, because I don't want that getting bigger. Top's not so bad. I can live with that if I don't get to those. I have to do it before they start blooming. So hence why I'm going around doing all the bottoms. There's our view. One of our many different views. Each part of our land we have completely different views. So there's not much more to show you except for, you know, I've been clearing all the olive cuttings from the last couple of years. I'm nearly there. So we had the very end of the Frugal area. This is what I call the middle area, and then the bottom area. So this is what's left to deal with in the middle area. The area I've done of this so far. A bit done. That's still to do, and the wood up the end there. You can see why we need to trim. And then we'll go down to the last area, the lower olive grove. This gives you a good example of the trees that need cutting still. This one doesn't have any on the bottom, but you'll want to cut away these kind of bits all up in the middle, if nothing else. So I cleared all this area. This was all out here of olive tree cuttings, all here, everything you see on the screen. There was olive cuttings there, and then all I've got left is some wood I haven't taken up. And some little bits there. Don't know if we do it on 3 walls or 4 walls, but you would have seen about that in my last update on when I was down in this area. All out here, all the wood and branches, and that's why it looks soily rather than grassy, because it was covered. Nothing growing in these yet. As I say, I haven't been doing much gardening. I've been working on my indoor growing. And I've dug up all the potatoes. All the potatoes are harvested. And then because it's reduced the soil in here, I've scooped it over this side. So if there were any little ones left that I didn't harvest, they are back in there to re-sow. So that's a little update. Hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to see more, I will suggest a few videos under this video in the description below. Let me know in the comments if you're growing, what you're growing, and is there anything you're growing that is new to you or has surprised you by the way it's growing already this year.